I live alone, perhaps for no good reason, for the reason that I am an impossible creature, set apart by a temperament I have never learned to use as it could be used, thrown off by a word, a glance, a rainy day, or one drink too many. My need to be alone is balanced against my fear of what will happen when suddenly I enter the huge empty silence if I cannot find support there. I go up to heaven and down to hell in an hour, and keep alive only by imposing upon myself inexorable routines. I write too many letters and too few poems. It may be outwardly silent here, but in the back of my mind is a clamor of human voices, too many needs, hopes, fears. I hardly ever sit still without being haunted by the undone and the unsent. I often feel exhausted, but it is not my work that tires. Work is a rest. It is the effort of pushing away the lives and needs of others before I can come to the work with any freshness and zest. September 17th. Cracking open the inner world again, writing even a couple of pages, threw me back into depression, not made easier by the weather. 2 gloomy days of darkness and rain. I was attacked by a storm of tears, those tears that appear to be related to frustration, to buried anger, and come upon me without warning. I woke yesterday so depressed that I did not get up till after 8. I drove to Brattleboro to read poems at the new Unitarian church there, in a state of dread and exhaustion. How to summon the vitality needed. I had made an arrangement of religious poems, going back to early books, and forward into the new book not yet published. I suppose it went all right. At least it was not a disaster. But I felt, perhaps I am wrong, that the kind, intelligent people gathered in a big room looking out on pine trees did not really want to think about God, his absence, many of the poems speak of that, or his presence. Both are too frightening. On the way back, I stopped to see Pearlie Cole, my dear old friend, who is dying, separated from his wife, and has just been moved from a Dickensian nursing home into what seems like a far better one. He grows more transparent every day, a skeleton, or nearly. Clasping his hand, I fear to break a bone. Yet the only real communication between us now, he is very deaf, is a hand clasp. I want to lift him in my arms and hold him like a baby. He is dying a terribly lonely death. Each time I see him, he says, "It is rough," or, "I did not think it would end like this." Everywhere I look about this place, I see his handiwork. The 3 small trees by a granite boulder that he pruned and trimmed so they pivot the whole meadow. The new shady border he dug out for me one of the last days he worked here. The pruned-out stone wall between my field and the church. The second field, where he cut brush twice a year and cleared out to the stone wall, is growing back to wilderness now. What is done here has to be done over and over, and needs the dogged strength of a man like Pearlie. I could have never managed it alone. We cherished this piece of land together, and fought together to bring it to some semblance of order and beauty. I like to think that this last effort of Pearlie's had a certain ease about it, a game compared to the hard work of his farming years, and a game where his expert knowledge and skill could be well used. How he enjoyed teasing me about my ignorance. While he scythed and trimmed, I struggled in somewhat the same way at my desk here, and we were each aware of the companionship. We each looked forward to noon, when I could stop for the day, and he sat on a high stool in the kitchen, drank a glass or 2 of sherry with me, said, "Court's in session," and then told me some tall tale he had been cogitating all morning. It was a strange relationship, for he knew next to nothing about my life, really. Yet below all